Good afternoon, children. Welcome to the science class. In the last class, we were studying the digestive system from the chapter lesson number 8 Structure and Function of Living Organisms, Animals. So, now today we'll move on to the next system that is present in our body, children. Now, in the last class, we studied that the why the digestive system is present in our body. Digestive system is present in our body to digest the food into simpler ones, and the digested food is absorbed by the blood and it is reached to all the cells of our body. Now we know that the digested food is present in each and every cell of our body. So now after the as the digested food is reached into our cell, now we know that we need energy to do different activities. So how the energy is released? So to release this energy we need oxygen. So the food acts as a fuel. We know that what we are taking into our daily diet, the food is a fuel. So similarly, as in our vehicles, children, we use the petrol or diesel. Okay, there will be a air pipe. Okay, so the fuel burns in the presence of air to release energy, so that as the energy is released, the vehicle moves forward. So similarly, the same function is going to take place in our body also. The food, that is the digested food, which is present in each and every cell of our body, it burns. The digested food should be burnt in the presence of oxygen. So how we are getting this oxygen? Which system helps us to get this oxygen from the atmosphere? We know that in the 5th standard we have studied that the breathing process. Okay, what is breathing process? Breathing process is nothing but air is taken in and air is given out. So during this process you learnt that as the air is taken in, oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. But as we know that air is a mixture of gases. So breathing is different and respiration is different, children. In the breathing process only the air is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. So during this process what happens? Now as the air reaches the respiratory system. Yes, so what is respiratory system? Respiratory system is a system of different all the organs, they are grouped together to perform a particular function. What is that particular function? To take in the air, and as the air is taken in, okay, so from that what happens? The oxygen is being absorbed and that oxygen is reached to all the different cells of our body. So how this process takes place in our body, we are going to learn today in this class, children. Okay, so we'll move on to our lesson, that is the respiratory system. Yes, in the respiratory system, yes, how can we define the respiration? The respiration is a process in which the digested food is burnt in the presence of oxygen to release energy and water vapor. Okay, so now we are going to learn this respiration, the respiration process afterwards. First we'll learn what are the organs involved in the respiratory system. So what are the organs involved in the respiratory system? So first we have the first organ in the respiratory system through which the air enters into our body, children, that is the nose. Okay, so nose is the first organ. In the nose we have the two nostrils. Okay, so the nostrils, these are the openings. Nostrils are the openings through which air enters into our body. Okay, these are the openings, and after this enters, we have the passage in the nose. See, we call it as the nasal passage. Okay, so the first organ, the nostrils, the air enters and then it reaches to the nasal cavity. After this, we have the air enters after the nasal passage. Okay, it enters the next organ, that is the pharynx. Pharynx, it is, you have to remember that, children, pharynx, it is the common passage for both food and water. Common passage for both food and water. So pharynx is a common passage for both food and water. So the next organ which is present is the larynx. Larynx, the larynx is also called as voice box. Next, larynx, it is also called as Adam's apple. It looks like a apple, children, so we call it as Adam's, in the name of the scientist Adam, so it is given as Adam's apple. So the larynx is nothing but the voice box. So the next organ after the larynx, the air passes into the next organ, that is windpipe. Yes, so the windpipe is also called as trachea. Yes, now after the larynx it enters the windpipe, and from the trachea, okay, it enters into the lungs. Two lungs are present. Okay, two lungs which are spongy in nature. Yes, these lungs are present in the chest cavity. Yes, the lungs are present in the chest cavity. So below the lungs we have a muscular layer. Okay, that is the diaphragm. Diaphragm plays a very important role in the respiratory process, in the respiration process. Okay, so these are the different organs present in the respiratory system. So these organs, they are grouped together. They are grouped under the name, that is the respiratory system, to perform one and only function. What is one and only function? To take in the air and leave out the air. So in the process of taking in air, what happens? As the air is taken in, the oxygen is absorbed from the air and the carbon dioxide is given out from our body, and this carbon dioxide which is not needed to our body, it passes from the lungs in the reverse direction, as the air has entered in this direction from nose, pharynx, larynx, windpipe, lungs. So similarly, the carbon dioxide which is not needed enters in outside of our body through in the reverse direction from lungs to windpipe, from windpipe to larynx, from larynx to pharynx, and from the pharynx it moves out of our body through the nostril. So these are the organs involved in our respiratory system. Okay, children. So now one by one we are going to learn about the organs and how these help in taking in air, and how this oxygen is being taken in into our body. Yes. So now we'll move on to the first organ. The first organ is the nasal cavity. Yes. So air enters through the nose. Okay, air enters the nose through the nasal cavity, And here you can observe in this diagram, through the nostrils, the two openings we have. Through the nostrils the air enters, and as the air enters into inside the nostrils, we can observe there what happens. As we know that the air which is entering into our nostrils, that is the nasal passage, the air, it is impure. It contains the dust, it may contain the germs also, children. So, this air which contains the dust and the germs, so in the nasal cavity we have the small airs are present, and along with this airs we have a mucus is present. This mucus is nothing but a sticky substance. A sticky substance is present in the nostrils. So, what happens in the nasal passage, as the air enters, the small airs, they filter the air. They filter the air, and the mucus and the small air, they filter the air, and they stop the dust and the germs entering into our the next organ. Understood, children? So in the what is the function of this nasal cavity? The nasal cavity, as the air enters through the nostrils, there we have the small airs and the mucus. This mucus and the small airs, they filter, they purify the air. As the air is being filtered and purified, okay, so now the air which enters into the next organ, it becomes warm. So the warm air enters into the next cavity, that is the pharynx, children. Okay. So here it stops the mucus and the small airs stop the dust and the germs entering into the next organ. So now after this, so after moving to the, now we'll move on to the next organ, that is the pharynx. Now the warm air enters into the next organ, that is the pharynx. I told you before, the pharynx, it is the common passage for both food and the water. Okay. So now as in the pharynx region, we can observe as the air passes into this pharynx, we can observe that a larynx is present. Yes. Here, the common passage, the pharynx, the air enters into the larynx. The opening of the pharynx, here we can observe the, as it is similar like a apple. Okay, this larynx, the shape of the larynx, this is larynx, children. Yes, in the as this is also called as voice box. Yes. Now, as the air enters here, what happens? Yes, as the air enters from the pharynx, as the air enters into the voice box, in the voice box we have the vocal cords. The vocal cords are present. Vocal cords are present. As the air enters, these vocal cords, they just vibrate. As they vibrate, a sound is released. Okay. This, as the sound is released, we are able to speak. Understood? So the sound is released, and with the help as we are able to speak and do different types of sounds. So larynx, you can touch in the neck region. Just touch and see, children. The larynx, you can just see that the larynx, it can move. Yes. So we have the, in boys we can observe the larynx, it will be just protruded, and okay, so in the girls it will be we just you have to touch and you have to see that a larynx is present, and this larynx help us in producing the sound. With the help of this sound, As the air enters, the vocal cords just vibrate. As it vibrates, what happens? The sound is released. The sound is released. Okay. So now, in the pharynx region, okay, in our body, what has happened here? The digestive system and the respiratory system. Yes, I told you the common pharynx is the common passage for both the food and the air. So now here you can observe your food and air. This is common passage for both food and air, children. Okay. So now here you can observe as the air enters, yes, as the air enters through the pharynx, it passes through the larynx, and as the air enters, the what happens, the vocal cords vibrate and the sound is produced. Till here you understood. So now the digestive system and the respiratory system in our body, what happens, they are connected to each other, okay, in the pharynx region. Now here just I am showing it through this sketch pens. The first one, that is the green color, you have to think this is the respiratory system. The respiratory system which is connected through the nose. Okay, and here you can observe the violet color which is behind. Okay, it is the digestive system which we have learned yesterday. So both at the front or in the chest cavity, at the front of our body, the respiratory system is present in the front, and back of the respiratory system we have the digestive system. So both are connected. Both are connected here in this way. Both are connected. Here can you observe? Both are connected in the pharynx region. So this pharynx region here, as you are breathing in, we know that we are taking in air. Yes, continuously we are breathing, and as the air enters continuously into the respiratory system. So whenever when you are having the food, when you are having the food, your parents, your teachers, your elders, okay, they'll be insisting you not to speak, not to laugh or speak loudly. Okay, so you have to have your food silently, chew the food. So now what happens here, what is happening here is, as it is the common passage, as the pharynx is the common passage for both food and the air. Okay, now when you are swallowing, yesterday you learnt that the tongue pushes, helps in swallowing the food. As the digested food, the partially digested food from the mouth, it should pass into the next organ, that is the esophagus. So when it is swallowed, what happens? What happens here? You have in the pharynx region, okay. Here in the pharynx region, in the respiratory system, you can observe, okay, the opening of the pharynx into the larynx. Now this is the pharynx. Here the larynx is present. I'll show you. Okay, the pharynx is present. This is the common passage, and here the larynx is present. The opening of the pharynx into the larynx, here you can observe there a glottis is present. Okay, an organ, that is a glottis, and this glottis is having a flap called epiglottis. Epiglottis. Yes. So this epiglottis is a flap. You have to just remember that a flap called epiglottis is present at the opening of the pharynx into the larynx. This flap, what happens? This flap, it just, as the food is reached, as the food is being swallowed and it is going to the next organ, that is the food pipe, it just closes the wind, that is the larynx. It just closes the opening, yes, as we take in the food. So here what happens, in a fraction of second the flap just closes, and here you can observe that the breathing also stops, children. We are in a fraction of second, the breathing is stopped here. We are not taking in, the air is not entered into the respiratory system. So whenever we are swallowing the food or we have having the food, just we should not laugh, or we should not speak loudly. What happens, the food particles may enter into the respiratory system, as it is the thin flap, epiglottis, thin muscular flap, which just closes for a fraction of second, and the breathing also is stopped then. Okay, and as the food is as it passes, immediately again it opens, the epiglottis opens for the passage of air into the respiratory system. Understood? I think you have understood this. Okay, there, so here there is a wall. This wall closes the opening, and when we that wall is this epiglottis is also called as wall. As the food is entering into the food pipe, this wall just closes the just closes the opening of the larynx, and then the food is entered. As it in a fraction of second, we can observe just the whole valve again opens. Okay, children. So after this, the food now, after air, now from the pharynx the air enters into larynx. I told you, in the larynx there is a vocal cords. This vocal cords vibrate as the air passes into this larynx. The vocal cords vibrate. As they vibrate, what happens, the sound is produced. Now from the larynx the air enters into the windpipe or trachea. Okay, so this windpipe, it is a delicate muscular tube. What is this windpipe? It is a delicate muscular tube. Yes, it's a muscular tube, means it is made up of muscles. Okay, children. So it is situated in front of the food pipe. Understood? The windpipe is situated in front of the food pipe in the neck region, or in the neck region. Okay, and it is about 12 centimeters in length and 2.5 centimeter in diameter. So the windpipe is 12 centimeter in length and 2.5 centimeter in diameter. So now the windpipe, as it enters the chest cavity, the windpipe here, it is branched. The windpipe is branched. As it enters into the chest cavity, just it divides into two. Okay, as it enters, yes, it divides into two branches, and this we call it as bronchi. We call it as bronchi. Yes, and as it enters, these bronchi enters into the next organ, that is the lungs. It enters into the next organ, the lungs, children. Okay, so the next organ is lungs. Now the air enters through from the windpipe to the next organ, bronchi, and from the bronchi the air enters into the next organ, the lungs. So the bronchi leads into the lungs. See here, this is the bronchi. As it divides into two, the windpipe, as it divides into two branches, we call it as bronchi. So the bronchi leads into the lungs, which are situated on either side of the chest cavity. The lungs are situated on either side of the chest cavity. So from this, what you can understand, that lungs are present in the chest cavity. Okay, children, these lungs are sponge in nature, and these lungs contain a number of air sacs. Okay, so I'll tell you, we'll just move on to the next. The lungs, here you can observe that there are two lungs in the chest cavity. Here you can observe that the lungs, the right lung, for example, this is the right lung, and this will be the left lung. Okay, left lung. The right lung will be will be little longer, and whereas the left lung will be little shorter when we compare both the lungs, children. Why? Because in the left part we have the heart. The heart is situated here in between the two lungs. The heart is situated. You will be learning in the circulatory system, the next system. So the heart is situated in between the two lungs. So the left lung will be little shorter when compared to the right lung, because it will be towards the left. The heart is situated towards the left of the left lung. Okay. So now after learning this, we'll move further to the next, that is when we see the lungs, in the lungs, what are present in the lungs. So we know that, just this is bronchi. You have learnt this bronchi leads into the lungs, and again in the lungs what we can observe. Okay, the lungs are, in the lungs the bronchi are again divided. They are again divided into bronchioles. They are again divided into bronchioles. Now, these lungs, in fifth standard, you have learnt that the lungs are, as they are very delicate organs, spongy in nature, and these lungs, they are protected by the rib cage. Yes, the rib cage protects the lungs. Okay, so the rib cage you have learnt in fifth standard. Yes, how the rib cage is formed in the skeletal system. So the rib cage protects the lungs. Okay, it protects the lungs, and here you can observe that the bronchioles are again these bronchi are branched into bronchioles. So now each bronchiole at the end of the each bronchiole we can observe a air sac is present, children. Air sacs. Air sacs. We also call it as alveoli. Okay, where the air that we are air that we are taking in, okay, that air is entered into this air sacs. Air enters, yes, and it is filled in the air sacs. Okay, so now the air, as it is filled in the air sacs, yes, now around this air sacs we can observe that blood vessels are present. Yes, around the air sac we can observe the blood vessels are present. So each air sacs contains a blood vessels. Blood vessels, what are these blood vessels? Blood vessels are the tube like structures. Okay, you have to learn, you will be learning it in the next system, which are the blood vessels, which blood is being carried out, everything you are going to learn. Just here you remember that the air sacs are surrounded by the blood vessels. Blood vessels are the tube-like structures through in which the blood is flown. Yes, so the blood is being flown in this blood vessels, and these blood vessels are present around the air sacs. We know that the blood is red in color. Yes, the blood is red in color, as you have everyone know that the blood is red in color due to the presence of the pigment. Pigment is present in the blood, children, that is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is present. This hemoglobin which is present in the blood gives the color, that is the red color, to the blood. So which is the pigment present in the blood? Hemoglobin is the pigment present in the blood, gives red color to the blood. Okay, so now I think everyone are clear. So now after, as the air enters here, the mechanism of respiration, how it takes place, I'll tell you at the last. Okay, so now here you can observe a dome shaped structure, children, this which is present below the lungs. Yes, that is called as diaphragm. What is that called? Diaphragm. Okay, now the lungs, it cannot move by themselves. So now the movement of it is the movement of this diaphragm. This you can see, the dome shaped diaphragm is present. Yes, below the two lungs. And the muscles between, we know that the lungs are being, they are protected by the rib cage. Okay, so in between the ribs we have the muscles, children. Yes, the muscles present in the between the ribs of the chest wall. Okay, this is, as it is the chest cavity, we can call it as the chest wall. So the muscles and the movement of the diaphragm both help in the contraction and expansion of the lungs. Contraction and expansion of the lungs. Now you have learnt in the 5th standard inspiration and expiration. Okay. Now contraction means just they contract. The muscles, they contract and they expand. Now as the air, now here you have to remember that as the air enters through the nasal cavity, through the pharynx, larynx, windpipe, it enters the lungs. Now it is filled in the air sacs. You learn, okay, it is filled in the air sacs. As the air is filled, that is inhalation of the air. Now as the air is filled, what happens? The muscles which are present between the ribs and the diaphragm muscles, as it is filled, okay, as it is filled, what happens? The 6 liters of air on an average in an adult, the air is filled. Okay, as it is filled, the dome shaped of the diaphragm, it becomes flat. Yes, it becomes flat. Now as the air is filled, now the dome shape, which was first the diaphragm muscles, okay, they were in the dome shaped. As the air is filled in the lungs, children, 6 liters of air is filled. Now the dome shaped has changed into the flat shape. Again when we exhale the air, as the air is exhaled out, as in fraction of seconds this takes place. As the air is exhaled again, what happens? The air which is, okay, the air again in the reverse direction is coming out through the lungs, windpipe, larynx, pharynx, nasal cavity, it enters outside. So as it enters outside, what happens? We can observe that the flat shape of the diaphragm, again it changes into dome shape. So during the air entering into the lungs, the dome shape changes to flat shape. Again when air enters outside, the flat shape changes into dome shape. Okay, so this is the respiratory system, how the air enters, everything, the organs, how they help in the respiration, in the respiratory system. Now after learning this, you have to know how what is respiration, what is the meaning of respiration, how the respiration process takes place, and how the energy is, with the help of this, how the energy is given out. Okay, so now I think till here you have understood. Okay, the air sacs you have understood, the air is filled. Now you have to take one of the air sac. Now one of the air sac we will take it, children, And here what happens, just you remember that the blood vessels are present around the, yes, the blood vessels are present. These blood vessels, they carry the blood. They carry the blood throughout our body. Now in this blood, as they are carrying the blood, as we know that a pigment called hemoglobin is present. So this hemoglobin is here has entered now. In the air, what is present, children? In the air, oxygen is also present. You have learnt in the composition of the air. In the air, oxygen is present. So this hemoglobin which is present in the blood vessels, okay, yes, what happens, this hemoglobin, it absorbs the oxygen from the air. Here in the air sacs, it absorbs the oxygen from the air. Okay, I think everyone are understanding. It absorbs the oxygen. Hemoglobin absorbs the oxygen from the air, and this oxygen is reached to the, okay, this blood again, it carries the oxygen to all the different parts of the body, to all each and every cell. So here you can observe the digested food from the digestive system has reached the cell, and this oxygen, it reaches to each and every cell. So now the burning, as we know that food acts as a fuel, the food is burnt. Now here in place of digested food, just I'll write it as C6H12O6. So this is the formula of glucose, children. I told you in the small intestine we are going to get the final product. The final product of the digestion is glucose. Okay, so now this glucose along with the oxygen, this oxygen from where we have got? This oxygen we have got it from the respiratory system. In the respiratory system, the blood, okay, the blood carries, absorbs the hemoglobin absorbs the oxygen, and this blood vessel carries this oxygen to each and every cell, to all the different parts of the body. So now in the cell we can observe that glucose and oxygen, they combine together. They combine, and here the food, that is the glucose, is burnt in the presence of oxygen to release. To release, what is released, children? Carbon dioxide is released, and small drops of water is also released. Okay, this water which is released, yes, and along with that we can observe the energy is also released in our body. So this energy, we know that we are taking the food to get energy. So this is the respiration process. Yes. So what is respiration? Respiration is a process in which the digested food, this is the digested food, the digested food is broken down in the presence of oxygen to release carbon dioxide, water and energy. So this is the definition of respiration. So whenever they ask you in the question, define respiration, so you should not write respiration is a process in which air, oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. This is the wrong answer. Okay, children. Respiration, what is respiration? Respiration is a process in which the respiration, you have to keep in your mind what is respiration. Respiration is a process in which the digested food, is burnt, okay, in the presence of oxygen. In presence of oxygen, yes, to release what? To release carbon dioxide, water and energy. Yes, so this is the definition of respiration. Respiration is a process in which the digested food is broken down. We can also call it as, in present burnt, you can write it down. The digested food is broken down in the presence of oxygen to release carbon dioxide, water and energy. So now after the respiration process takes place, now you can observe here, this carbon dioxide is not needed to our body. So this should be eliminated from our body. So here again the role of the carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide should be thrown out of our body. Again, what happens? The blood vessels which are present, okay, in our body, these blood vessels carry this carbon dioxide. The blood vessels carry the carbon dioxide to where they carry? They carry to the respiratory system. Understood, children? They are carrying to the respiratory system. So the blood vessels carry the carbon dioxide. Here I told you the air sacs are present. Around this we have the blood vessels, I told you. So here two blood vessels will be present. So the one blood vessel will be carrying the oxygen from the, yes, two blood vessels are present around the air sacs. So one blood vessel will be carrying the oxygen from the air, okay, it will be carrying to the cell, and the another blood vessel from the cell will be carrying the carbon dioxide to the air sac, So this process takes place in our body continuously, and in a fraction of second the respiration process takes place. Both the digestion and respiration, they work both in hand, children. Yes, so as this is again, through this it is being released into the carbon dioxide is released into this that is the air sac. It is thrown out of our body in a reverse direction, that is from the lungs. Okay, here you can observe from the lungs, through the bronchi, through the lungs, through the larynx, through the pharynx, through the nostrils, the carbon dioxide is given out. So now the question will be asked to you, which is the site where the carbon dioxide and oxygen are being exchanged. Now here the carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged. Where they are exchanged? In the air sac. Yes, which is the place, or which is the site where the exchange of gases takes place. So where it is exchanged? Air sac is the, okay, or you can also call alveoli. Alveoli or air sac is one and the same, where the exchange of gases, oxygen is taken in, carbon dioxide is given out. So this exchange of gases takes place in the air sac. Understood, children? So when the child is born, a baby, okay, it will be having the pink lungs. The lungs color will be pink. So as the child grows older and older, the lungs, they get darkened, and due to the impurities present in the air, children. Okay. So now here this completes the respiratory system. Yes.